How many times have you changed yourself, your words, your opinions, your work, just to make someone else approve of you? How many versions of yourself have you created, trying to be good enough for people who never even asked you to change in the first place? Today, I want to tell you the story of a painter named Marco, a man who spent his whole life trying to make everyone love his art, until one quiet afternoon, everything changed. Marco was gifted. From a young age, he could look at the world and capture its beauty on a canvas in a way that made people stop and stare. But he had one problem: he didn't just want people to see his art, he needed them to love it. So he listened to everyone. When a merchant said his colors were too dark, he made them brighter. When a woman in the market said his figures were too thin, he made them fuller. When an art teacher said his skies were wrong, he studied until his skies looked like everyone else's. Year after year, Marco kept changing. He painted what people wanted, adjusted what they criticized, erased what they questioned, and slowly, without even realizing it, Marco stopped painting Marco's paintings. One afternoon, an old man came to his studio. He walked slowly around the room, looking at painting after painting without saying a word. Then he stopped in front of a blank canvas in the corner and asked quietly, "Whose painting is this?" Marco looked at it and said, "It's not finished. It's blank. It belongs to no one." The old man turned to him and said, "And yet, it is the only honest thing in this room." Marco didn't understand. The old man walked to the paintings on the wall and pointed one by one. This one was painted for the merchant. This one for the woman in the market. This one for the teacher. Then he looked back at the blank canvas and said, "But this one is still waiting. It hasn't been given away yet." Marco felt something tighten in his chest and whispered, "What does it mean?" The old man placed a brush in his hand and said, "It means you have spent your whole life painting for everyone except the person who was born to hold this brush. And the truth is, we all do this. We change our voice so people will listen, shrink our opinions so people will agree, and edit our choices, our clothes, and our dreams, trimming away the parts that might make someone uncomfortable. We call it being adaptable, being humble, being realistic, but in reality, we are just handing our brush to strangers. The people you are trying to impress are not thinking about you as much as you think, they are too busy trying to impress someone else. And the approval you are chasing will never feel like enough, because what comes from the outside can never fill what is missing on the inside." Marco finally picked up that brush, and for the first time in years, he painted something no one had asked for, something no one had approved, something no one had ever seen before, because it came from a place no one else could reach. It became the most beautiful thing he had ever created, not because it was perfect, but because it was his. And just like Marco, you have a canvas too. So stop handing your brush to people who were never meant to hold it. The world doesn't need another version of what already exists. It needs the one thing only you can create.